Hey you guys, welcome back to Angela, and on this topic I wanted to talk about how narcissists are basically, they are your killers and your saviors all at the same time. You got someone who is trying to destroy you, kill you, and it might not come off as physical. It's mental, it's spiritual, right? So you got someone that wants to destroy you, but at the same time, they are also your savior. Why are they your savior? They're your savior because while you're dealing with these people, they are coming at you like they're not the problem. They're coming at you like they did nothing to you, or anything that you did, you deserved for them to do what they did, or they were teaching you a lesson, or they were trying to teach you structure, right? Even your parents, they can try to destroy your life, destroy your dreams, but all at the same time, they're trying to give you rules, right? Structure. But what prize does that structure come with? Does it mean that, hey, I give you these rules, and if you have a different path that you feel that you want to walk in, do I reject you as my kid? Do I reject you and try to destroy what you do want to do? Meaning that if you have different goals, they're not going to support those goals. They're not going to help you with those goals. And that's fine, right? That's fine. But the thing about it, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they're going to try to make life harder for you. So if you are to choose a different career path and you're willing to work towards this, if you're dealing with narcissistic parents, then to them, it's like, okay, I'm not going to pay for your phone anymore. Okay. You're going to have to find somewhere to live, right? So they try to make the obstacles in your life harder, right? Where in the back of your head, you know, if I do everything this person says and don't have a mind, a brain, or speak up against evil when I see this parent gossiping or making up lies about people, or, calling them out on their bullshit, it's the fact that they can act like a savior and tell people what they've done for you, but at the same time, they're running your name through the mud, and now people are treating you differently, and now you don't have support from anyone because of their way of the fact that they were able to manipulate others by talking bad about you in itself. And now you got people against you, right? I used to tell myself all the time, right, when I used to make bad choices when I was younger, it wasn't necessarily bad choices, but yeah, some of them were bad choices, right? It was more of me not having the guidance that I needed in certain situations, because it was basically like, if you don't do as I say, when there's an opportunity to really give you true guidance, I'm not going to give it to you. It's almost like a tit for tat, but you don't do that with children, right? You're supposed to be the adult. So I used to wonder, like, even when you mature and you start to see, like, I'm not the problem, I just need to focus on myself. These people they're just haters, because when you see that you switch your whole vibration around and you're focused on what you need to focus on, you see that they put more hate towards you when you're not doing the right thing. than when you're doing the right thing. Meaning that when you're doing the right thing, they're not going to support you. They're not going to go hard for you when you're doing the right thing. If you were complaining so much about all these things, right, that I did as a teenager, now that I'm developing, now that I understand, you know, principles and understand what I need to do to be successful, you're not giving me the same energy. You're not bragging about my success with others. You don't have the same energy as the hate that you put in, right? But then all in the same, you don't want to seem like a bad person. So, you don't want people to feel like you're a bad parent. So now you buy nice things to make up for the fact that you have no emotional intelligence. So you try to use materialistic gain, and then you try to profit off of what I worked hard for. When you didn't support me, you try to gain respect from others by bragging only when it's beneficial for you, when the final product is done, right? So I've realized that, from early on, that narcissists like to play they like to destroy you, but at the same time, they want to play the hero like they're saving you from yourself, or they're not the reason for your failure. They want to act like something happened to you and it has nothing to do with them, even though deep down inside, if they weren't around you with their negativity, you'll be just fine, right? So the gaslighting gets you to even think that maybe you are the issue, right? And then when they go speak to other people and other people are treating you differently, you start to feel like maybe I am the problem. Everyone feels like this about me. You're not understanding that everyone feel like this about you because the narcissist was running their dick suckers to everyone. You don't know that they're talking about you, that they're gossiping about you. But when you learn this, and especially in a family dynamic, you start to understand the narcissist that you were in a relationship or a friendship or a coworker. You start to understand that these people will come around helping you. And a lot of times this is why as empaths, we don't want to accept help, because we don't want you to try to get credit off of you helping us, because we know it's not genuine. It's not from the heart, because you have to brag about it for clout. You need to brag about it to get attention, to get validation for yourself. It's not so much what you did. It's how you look when you're doing it. So a lot of times as empaths, we don't like accepting help. We don't like taking money and taking shit from people and taking gifts from people, because we don't know if it's genuine or if you're doing it because you want something back, or you want to go back and forth on who gives who what and does who what for who, right? So you realize that they're playing a game. They're playing a game. And I've shared before, right? Even at the discard of the narcissist, when I went through it in this over 10-year relationship, right? I realized the whole time when I would think about the love bombing, I would think like, this person is the one who is breaking me apart, making me sick, making me ill, watching me go to the hospital. All this shit happening to me, and it was the signs, and I'm like, why is this happening to me, right? It was the effects of the stress, of the back and forth, of the ups and downs. That's why I got sick. That's why I'm still sick to this day, because of the stress that I was under. And this is why I make these videos, because it's very important for people to understand that when someone is trying to destroy you, they also come at you like they are a savior. So meaning that when the narcissist and me would talk about people, as far as our relationships with our family, our friends, when we would discuss, people trying to destroy us, or people trying to, basically, we were talking about narcissism. We didn't have a term for it, but that's basically what we were talking about, narcissism. And and I looked up to the narcissist in a sense because I felt like they really know their shit, right? Like they could see through people right away. I didn't see them as, oh, he knows his narcissist. He knows everything about narcissism. No, we didn't talk about terminologies. It was more like the shadiness in people and the funny shit, the games. We would talk about these things. Meanwhile, they're running the same game on you, and this is why you're up and down. This is why they're in and then they're out. So they're sitting here playing with you. And then they come at you like a savior. They come and they love bomb you and they gaslight you and they act like, they're begging for forgiveness. They come at you like, I really do care about you. I really do want to do this with you. I really, you know how I feel about you. And, they try to come at you like they are some type of savior. Right? Like they're some type of hero. Like you should be happy to be in their presence because there's no one like them. Because real, authentic, honest, real ass people aren't everywhere. They feel like I'm real. How many times you hear narcissists say, I'm real. I'm a real dude. I'm a real female, right? And these be some of the fakest people ever. You be thinking like, how this person act like they're so real, but they stay lying. Ain't nothing real about lying. Real is being able to get what you want by being real with yourself, by being honest with people. It's not so much if you want to be with multiple people, cool, but be real. Don't manipulate people and bait them into a relationship, and then you want to be honest with them. And then you know who to target. You go and target someone who is on survival mode, or someone who someone tried to kill, and now they're traumatized, right? Because if people are trying to destroy you, that means you have pain, you have unhealed wounds. So you're going to go target someone with unhealed wounds. That's like someone, getting out of a situation where they're in a life-threatening situation and they're running out of a cave, and here comes the narcissist playing hero, love bombing you, breadcrumbing you. And then when they know they got you wrapped around their finger, and they feel like, okay, you love me enough, you love this character enough, now I'm gonna start exposing myself. And you're wondering what changed. You're wondering what's going on. You're thinking, did I do something? Is there someone else? You start questioning yourself. And then when you're deep in it, now the narcissist will expose themselves. Yes, this is what I do. Yes, I did this to you. What you gonna do about it? Right? What you gonna do about it, bitch? That's how they're coming at you. And as someone who is wounded and who feels pain, you don't want to feel the pain of someone you care about coming at you like that. So you leave, right? You make a tough choice because you know this isn't right. What this person has done, it's like they're trying to kill me. They're doing the same thing that I've already been through. I've already been rejected in my life. They're doing the same shit. So you leave. And the narcissist comes back. They start stalking you. They start following places that you go, places that you've been. They start monitoring you like a monitoring spirit. And because you feel down, because you had high hopes about this relationship, you had high hopes, dreams, ambitions. You started thinking about the future. You feel sad. You feel down and out. So a narcissist will show up with flowers. They'll show up taking you to a 5-star restaurant. They'll show up in tears, even in tears. I went through it. Show up with a bouquet of flowers. Like they're your savior. And because you feel sad and you want to feel seen, you'll take it. You'll take them back. You'll say, maybe they really are sorry. I don't know anyone else that would go out their way to do this for me. I got no one in my life that would do these things for me. You're looking at the material things. You're looking at the things that they're doing to love bomb you. You're not looking at the spirit in that person's body and how someone who is of God does not have the spirit of confusion, and you know you didn't do anything wrong. So that means that this person is trying to kill you, but at the same time, they want to seem like a savior. And someone who does this is a very dangerous person because they start to believe in their mind that they really are saving you. If you make them feel like they really are that great of a person, even though they're awful, they start to believe that they aren't that awful. They're not that bad. They're not that evil because they're seeing themselves how you see them, not how they actually are. So while they're trying to destroy you and you're giving life onto them, you're giving life you're giving life to the narcissist. Now they're addicted to that. They're addicted to that. So now they feel like they're doing you a favor and they're like, I'm saving you if anything. I know I'm a great person because you're validating their greatness. You're validating their manipulation. So they start to believe they start to believe that they are the fantasy instead of the reality of who they are. They start to see themselves how you see them, and they start to think that everyone sees them the way you see them. And that's where they get their confidence from. And they'll do the same thing to you all over again. They'll destroy you again. Right? And when they do this, to them, it's like, I'm doing you a favor because you shouldn't allow someone to talk to you like this. I'm doing you a favor because if you wouldn't have ran across someone so evil like me, then you wouldn't really know evil, because there's narcissists who are more evil than me. There's narcissists that will kill you. For real, for real. I might have killed your spirit. I might have killed your confidence, your career, your finances, but I didn't actually murder you. I did you a favor. Right? So they come at you like a savior, like if you wouldn't have came across them, you wouldn't understand life while they're destroying your life completely. They'll destroy your shit to dust. And they'll feel like they did you a favor because you should have known what a bad person is and the limits a bad person will come to. And if you haven't been around someone as evil as them, they feel like, well, that means that your parents and your family protected you from people like me. And you think you're better than me. So that's why you deserve what I did to you. You deserve it because you're not a good person like you claim you are. Yeah, you act like you're good and things like that, but you haven't been through enough trauma like me. I've been through more than you. They're competing with you like who's been through more than who, when you could have went through more than them, but you're dealing with an entity that wants to destroy you. They are the spirit of confusion. So It's not about competing of who's been through what. It's the simple fact that this person has ill intentions to destroy you and they're jealous of you. So their jealousy has to come out one way or another. It has to express itself through something else. But because they need you, they have to save you, because in order to save you, because by saving you, I mean, they're saving themselves. So they're like, I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to let you live enough. I'm going to let you live enough so that I can save you. Because by saving, I'm not saving you because I want to save you because I feel sorry for you. Because if I felt sorry for you, I would have stopped fucking with you a long time ago. I wouldn't have dragged you through the mud if I cared about you. I'm not saving you because I care about you. I'm saving you because I need you. I'm saving you because I'm saving myself. So when a narcissist is nice to you, they're not being nice to you because it's coming out of their heart. Because sometimes you get confused when you leave the relationship and you're like, what about the good times? What about the good times? And it takes you years sometimes to even process that it was fake. Because you're like, nah, but it can't be. And then you start to think, well, maybe they did these nice things, but it's because they benefited from it. Or maybe they looked at it like it's not a big deal because they've done it with many other supplies. Anything that they did to love bomb you, they've done it before. So it's nothing special. It's nothing from the heart. It's a routine. It's a pattern. It's like they can sit there and take you to the same places they took that person. They could do the same ideal things that they do during the love bombing with another person, but it doesn't make it special. It doesn't make it intimate, because they've already showed you what type of person and what type of time that they're on. And someone that's willing to be that diabolical in someone else's life, in someone's life, who has been nothing but nice and caring and good to them, it wouldn't even matter if they get with another supply who you would think is better. It doesn't matter if they get with someone and they change up their act and they change their clothes and they change their hair, because you already saw that person for who they are. And even though people change, I do not personally believe narcissists can change. And if they can change, it's not so much that they're changing, it's more that they're masking themselves to function in society. It's like a functioning drug addict. So when a narcissist is playing the hero, it's crazy because they'll preach to you about bad men and bad women and things like that. Meanwhile, they're doing everything they're preaching to you about. It's like a pastor preaching to you about God, but behind closed doors, that's not really who they are. So you got someone who they come to you on Sunday like a savior, but all week long they're on a killing spree. So when they come at you as a savior and they do good deeds, and it seems like, no, I trust that person, and and they're wearing their Sunday best on your ass, you're not thinking that when this person is saving you and blessing you and helping you out, you don't know that these blessings, first of all gifts are from God. When this person is giving you or helping you, they want you to see them as God, right? This is why the narcissist has to play the savior too, because if the narcissist was to be themselves, people wouldn't like them at all. So part of it is they have to become someone else, someone likable, someone relatable. So they can come at you and preach to you to as a savior, but the moment that you find out who this person really is, because they are driven by the spirit of confusion, then the moment that they show you they aren't who they say they are, that might make someone say, hey, I'm not coming to this church anymore, I'm leaving. That might drive someone away from the faith of God. Like, God ain't real. Because this person preached and I thought that they were one way. And it so happened they had a whole bunch of skeletons in their closet. So when a narcissist can show you that they can gift you things and they could have a good side to them, but could do some of the nastiest things to you and spit on your face, it's showing to you that every good deed that they do, they're not doing it from the heart. They're not doing it from a place of good. They're doing it from a place of manipulating. So I was thinking about this, right? Because I've shared with you guys, a lot of my life and the narcissism in my family, the racism in my family as a mixed person. And I was very, very close to my grandmother growing up. But like many narcissistic families, eventually the good times come to an end because the narcissistic people in the family are always going to steal your family's inheritance and break up the family. And basically you won't know what happened in your past, or you might have a connection to your past, but eventually a lot of families can't keep track of their great grandparents and things like that, because the narcissism runs so deep in breaking families apart and splitting them up, and children being brought up to not even know that their parents did a whole bunch of weird shit. So when my aunt decided to basically kidnap my grandmother out of her own home, along with some siblings, they decided to take my grandmother's inheritance, take her home, take her properties, isolate her from the rest of the family, the rest of the siblings who were also entitled to take part of their parents' inheritance. But because they, the other siblings have mixed children, they were left out of it, right? The whole family broke apart. Cousins don't speak to each other anymore. Everyone is basically in their own little bubbles with their own little families and things like that. And a lot of people were broken. A lot of people, what my aunt did affected a lot of people, meaning she affected children. My little cousin, my little cousins all felt really bad that they weren't part of the family. They started feeling insecure about their identity, because they're looking at it like, how come we were targeted? You know what I'm saying? They're also feeling left out because they're seeing the other cousins, they're able to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and regular holidays. And now my little cousins are left to celebrate these holidays at home with their immediate family, which isn't a lot of them. And holidays are just weren't excited for them anymore, right? And it really hurt my little cousin. And every time I spoke to him, he would bring up the family. And as his older cousin, who is biracial just like him, he would ask me a lot of questions like, why this, why that? Why do people do this to me? Why do people, he was basically me, a version of myself, but a little kid right? So I understood, I understood that I had to be honest with him. I had to be truthful to him, because if you're not truthful, how are you going to survive in the world when you're going to run across people just like your family, but out here in the streets, in the world, at the job place, the same people that you grew up with that could steal the inheritance and look at you like you're dog shit? You got those same people out here in these streets. So I had to be honest with him. But it bothered me because I felt like it's not even about money. It's the fact that you're destroying a whole generation of families and you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck that there's children that are being affected by this. And when my little cousin passed away due to his seizures, it pissed me off even more because my aunts didn't want to bring my grandmother to see her own daughter who was hurting over her dead child. All she wanted was her mother, and she couldn't even talk to her mother the way she wanted to because these witches over here were so consumed with the money and the properties and the fact that they know that we don't look at them the same, that they didn't want to show their face to bring my grandmother to see her daughter. And then when they finally did take her, they had the dumbest looks on their face. They sat there and acted like they cared and said, we're really sorry this happened. And I said, bitch, you're not, I'm sorry, but I snapped. I literally snapped at the hospital while my cousin's body is dead, laying on that hospital bed, and my aunt is in tears, distress, and her mother is there, and these witches come up here talking about, they didn't even want to bring her here, but then when they get here and show their face, because that's really what narcissists do. They try to avoid you after they do what they do. So they didn't bring her there because they were good people. They brought her there eventually, and they brought her there eventually because of their own reputation, because they knew it was going to make them look bad to certain people who still believed their lies, right? Because they tried to lie and try to make it seem like, we left them out. My mother's not obligated to leave anything to any of them. They're the ones who are money hungry because that's all they're thinking about. If they love my mom, they would just love my mom and not think about the money. If you loved your mom, you wouldn't think about the money. So they try to gaslight. They try to, whatever they're about, their greediness, they'll try to act like it's you, even though they're the ones reaping from it, right? They never put themselves in your shoes. So yeah, I snapped. I said, how dare you, bitch? My little cousin was sad. He was sad that he couldn't go to family events and parties, and you come here talking about you're sorry. You're not sorry. You're just a sorry ass person. So, I kept it real. I'm not a fake person. And I told my aunt, out of respect, I'm not going to say anything else, right, during that period of time, because it wasn't about me and it wasn't about the narcissism that was going on. So I remained silent. But while I remained silent, my aunts started calling my uncle, which is the husband of my aunt who lost her son. So he lost his son. That's my uncle by marriage. So they start calling him to talk about me, saying that I was a bad influence for my aunt. But my aunt, she been stopped fucking with y'all. They're trying to use her husband as a flying monkey to disrespect me. My uncle didn't say anything to me, but it's the simple fact that you're a thief, you're a liar, and now you're trying to throw me in the bus, like, because I said something to you and you can't stop thinking about what I said. So now you go and tell my uncle, and you feel like, now we can project the attention on her, and now we can look like the saviors. We can make her, they literally were, they do this so, sometimes it's strategic and sometimes it's just natural. They do it natural because they react. And every time they react, they're never going to react with common sense. Common sense knows what you did, right? But because I hurt their ego, because their hope, they had to put their ego to the side to portray to be something else for other people because of their reputation. So when I said something to them, the truth, because they thought they were being tough, like we're going to go in there as a group and we're going to act tough because we've been avoiding everyone. We've been avoiding bringing my mother around. So we're going to go in there acting tough. And and one person shut all you bitches down and made all of you bitches feel stupid. Just one person, just little old me, hurt your ego with the truth. And because your intention was to come there for your reputation and not really for the death of that child or for the suffering of that mother, now you're contacting the dad. You have no business contacting him, saying anything to him after you were a big part of the destruction of this family. You shouldn't even say anything to him. You're saying something to him like you're a good person and I'm the evil person, trying to gaslight and confuse people when they're suffering, making it about you when you should have just kept your mouth shut. Because it's not about you right now. You're mad I said the truth. I didn't tell no lies. I could see if I was telling a lie. Then on top of that, they started to try to take over the funeral, meaning they went and started to tell her where she should have her funeral. They started to tell her what Bible scriptures, what songs, and my aunt had to decline. She said, you guys are overstepping your boundaries. It's my son's funeral. I'm gonna pick what Bible verses, what songs. I'm gonna pick this. Everything, the details, I'm gonna do that, not you. So they try to throw me under the bus and they try to play the savior, but because me and my aunt, we're locked in, right? We're locked in because we've dealt with the same thing with these people. She's like, can you believe how they're trying to throw you under the bus and come at and act like they're saviors? When in reality, they should do what's right. So if I'm short on my funeral arrangement, if I need a little help in money, you should be trying to help. You should be trying to help because you're not only because you're family, but because you decided to steal all of the inheritance from everyone else. That's the least you could do, is try to help the people in need. If you're going to take everything and claim that you're a good person, you know what I'm saying? But no. I digress. That's not how a narcissist thinks, because everything they do is with a motive, with a purpose, with an agenda. It's never from the heart. Nothing that they do. They're keeping track of everything, even at a funeral. So what I also realize is how they try to kill you, right? They try to kill you and seem like they're the hero. So the way they do this is by making up lies about you, accusing you of stuff that they didn't do, that you didn't do, and also by victimizing themselves. So they like to get close to people and listen to their problems and even share things about themselves, their struggles. And all of this is they're only building a bond with people so that people can feel like they are normal people just like them. Because narcissists understand that people want people that they can relate to. So that's why when you see these motherfuckers come online and they're spitting all this game at you, all these narcissist men who try to preach to women, and everything they say sounds good. They sound like a savior, right? Some of them even tell you, I am a narcissist. I'm trying to help you. A narcissist can't help you because they're not stupid. They know how you think, how you feel. They just don't give a fuck. So the fact that a motherfucker will come online and pretend like they give a fuck, but they're trying to benefit money and they're trying to benefit from it, and they're not doing shit for the people that they hurt and they stole from. They're not paying those people back. They're coming at you like so a narcissist will literally hurt you, kill you, destroy your life, but then they'll go and try to build someone else. They'll come online trying to build you up, knowing and trying to use the same, they're trying to build you up. Oh, don't deal with someone who does this to you. Don't deal with someone who does this to you, because that means they don't care about you, while being the person who did that to somebody. They're telling you because that's what they did, and that's what they're doing. And they might be hiding. It might seem like they've changed, but they haven't changed. They're just hiding. Or they're hiding the truth in plain sight, and you can't even see it. You can't even see it because you're seeing them as a savior, as someone who's sharing what their nasty personality is really like. Is someone who's disguising that shit as someone who changed, someone who got help. You can't help someone. You can't change someone's nature. You can't make a vampire be a human if it's a vampire. You do not have the power to do that. No amount of kindness. A therapist can't help a motherfucker when a motherfucker has been sleeping with them for years trying to help them as a full-time therapist. So I realize that hero shit that they do. I realize that hero shit that they like. They like to kill people, and then they like to come and act like heroes and save you, but it's really them trying to save themselves, or they try to destroy you, and then they go out saving other people, and you think they're treating the new supply better because they're using who you are, the kindness, the love that you got. They're using your personality and the personality of good people and traits of good people, and they're putting that into other people. They're investing that into other people. The narcissist picks and chooses how to treat people. And yes, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. But if you're trying to teach a narcissist how to treat you, they might end up treating you the way you want to be treated, but it's going to come with a prize, because they're not doing that shit for nothing, so yeah, the narcissist picks and chooses who they try to destroy, and a lot of times they're not gonna, if they're with the new supply and you haven't seen anything, a lot of times it's because it's not convenient for them to do so. But if another opportunity, a better opportunity, if they were to win the lottery, their loyalty is 0 to none. 0 to none. They would just feel like, okay, now I'm in a position to start over again. Nothing is ever enough for them. That's part of their personality trait. Nothing is ever good enough for them. And what I also realized, right, with my aunt, who's very overprotective over my grandmother, when there's a death in the family, my grandmother's own sister passed away. They didn't want to tell my grandmother her sister passed away. Her brother passed away. They didn't want to tell her brother passed away. When other people in the family are going through things, or people want to reach out to her, they don't say shit to her. And you know what their excuse is? Their excuse is she's old. We don't want to tell her sibling passed away because it can stress her out and she can die. Hello, she's twice your age. She's nearly 100. She actually lived longer than you. She knows more about life than you. You should honor your parent by respecting them and telling them the truth. That's how you honor your parent. So how do you love your parent but you keep lying to your parent? How do you love your parent but you keep controlling your parent? How do you love your parent and say, I don't want to stress them out by telling them their sibling, by telling them that their sibling passed away because they're really depressed right now? How can you say you care about your parent and you're trying to protect their anxiety and their depression or whatever because they've been sad? How can you say you're trying to protect them when you are the reason they're depressed in the first place? My grandmother's never been depressed. She's always had faith in God. So you mean to tell me she's depressed and because you don't want to cause her harm, you don't want to tell her the truth? So basically what a narcissist would do is act like a savior. Oh, I'm here to save you. Or you don't need to stress out. You're old. Meanwhile, they're the reason you're stressed out because they broke your family apart. The greed of money took over. They don't let you speak on the phone to who you want to speak to. They took your phone away. You have no access to phones. You have no access to your friends. You have no access to shit. You're just in a bed, in a room, in a house that's not yours. A house that you helped pay for with the money they took from you. You have no access to your bank accounts, your finances. And they even went and got one of those, what is it called? Oh, man, I can't think of it right now. They even got a conservatorship. Like they did Britney Spears. They got They got so scared that maybe we can take them to court, or they got so scared that maybe we can fight, that they just gave conservatorship so no one has access to speak to her. They basically are like, we're going to get conservatorship so we can have further control. That's not normal. They make it seem like, oh, we're here to help, we're here to protect her assets and all these things. But everything you're doing is from a place of greed, a place of lies. And then you're coming, making it seem like you're being a savior, like you're helping them out, like you're doing your parent a favor. No, bitch, she's doing your broke ass a favor because that's broke people behavior. That's even broke people don't even act like that. You're acting like an animal, right? The fact that family means nothing to you is crazy to me. And the fact that you want to pick and choose what family members you like to keep the family generation going is really crazy to me. Because you don't get to pick your fucking family. And you're not the fucking mother. You're the daughter. So you wanna act like you're the mother and you're in the position of hierarchy, and you want to act like you're the mother of everyone, Mother Teresa, right? So I noticed when they started not telling her about her own siblings passing away, I said, that's so strange. What about them as siblings? They wouldn't want their kids to tell them if they pass away. Like you wouldn't want your kids to tell your siblings that you passed away, because that's what you're doing to my grandmother, and she's older than you. She lived twice your life. You're treating her like she a baby just because she's old. She might be old, but she's still intelligent. Her mind is sharp. You might see her physically and you want to treat her like a baby, but her mind is sharp. She doesn't have dementia. She's sharper than you. She could see through your bullshit. She sees through your bullshit, but because she loves you and she needs someone to take care of her in her old age, she lets a lot of things slide, and that's why she feels depressed, bitch. And you made it worse. And because you have the guilt. See, this is the thing about narcissists. They have the guilt of the bad shit that they're doing, right? So you know what happens when a narcissist feels guilty? they overcompensate. They overcompensate by claiming that they love you. So how they do this is that when they feel guilt, now they have to overcompensate to play the hero, meaning that the guilt is eating them up because they know they're doing harm to you, but they're not willing to go back on their word. They're not willing to go back on their choices that they made if it comes to money and things like that. They don't want to go. They feel the guilt, but they're like, I'm not going back because I benefit from this, right? They feel a little bit of guilt, but it's not enough guilt to stop them from doing what they're doing. So to compensate from that, they know that you're depressed because I destroyed the family. I get it. You're emotional. You're old. You're in pain. So I'm going to use this for my advantage, and I'm going to pretend that I'm the victim. So they start victimizing themselves, and now they're oversharing their problems with the person they're trying to control. Meanwhile, they're trying to make you look bad when in reality, the victims are the ones that are really going through it. They're the ones compensating from it. It's the victims that are actually struggling and going through more than them. But they have to victimize themselves because of the guilt so that the person they're manipulating can forget about the other people, the reason why they're depressed in the first place, and focus on the person in front of them who is coming at them like they're some type of victim. So now, because the person is allowing, they're giving their power. They're in an agreement with the devil, with the narcissist. They're in an agreement with the narcissist. Okay, the narcissist feels like, okay, I got this person, I've manipulated them, they're in an agreement with me. But then a part of the person who is being manipulated and who is being abused and saved at the same time, that person at some point is going to realize this person wants to victimize themselves. But what they're going to think, what about the other survivors? What about the other victims? So the person is going to think about other people from the past. They're going to think, it's kind of like when you're going through it with a narcissist and you start thinking, you weren't thinking about it maybe while you were in it. But when the big picture comes, you start to see like there were other victims. I wonder, if they made it out of this situation. I wonder how they're doing. You start to think like this person's done this to other people and they don't care. Like they got a trail of people they done shit to, right? So you see that they're not a fucking victim. They got a pattern to them. So eventually that person sees that this person's not a victim like they claim that they are. So what the narcissist does is that now they isolate you. They make sure that you don't talk to other people. You don't feel sorry for nobody else but them, that they're your main focus. They are the ones that you should put all your resources and your fuel into, right? So they're like, come on, I'm your savior. I'm the one that's gonna have your back, So they come at you like they're your savior, protecting you, protecting your health. Maybe they take good care of you, right? They make your meals, right? They might come at you like a savior by doing good deeds, right? Oh, I want to protect my mother. I don't want her to know her sibling passed away, right? So they start taking that savior position to a diabolical level, right? It's like the only reason I don't let her talk on the phone is because I don't want someone to say something negative to her and make her upset. So everything that when the savior is saying that everything they're doing is for that other person's benefit, it's never for that other person's benefit. It's always for their own benefit. So they like to disguise that savior role. They like to disguise that savior role as really caring about that person. And you see that they go hard. Like if you tell them no, you're trying to manipulate. You're a manipulator. A narcissist will say, "What? Manipulate? I'm the one who cooks. I'm the one who cleans. I'm the one who takes care of my mother." Da, 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 da. Right? So they're throwing at you what they do, right? But all you got to tell them is nobody told you to go and hijack her and kidnap her and take her to your house. Or you're not the only one that can take care of her. I can take care of her too. It's like they try to make this role like they're the only ones that can do it and no one else can do it, and they should only be the ones benefiting from it. But it's because they set the whole stage up themselves and planned everything out. So this is why the narcissist will try to destroy you and then play the hero, and then they disappear because the truth exposes their lies. It exposes the killer. It exposes that they're not this great, good person, caring and nourishing and motherly. They're nothing of that sort. They're nothing what they portray to be. So a narcissist will be literally killing you, killing your relationships, your friendships, the relationships with your own children, with your own kids, with your family. They will literally be destroying you, putting you in a deep depression, and at the same time they'll be overprotective over you. Don't want you to talk to certain people, want you to be faithful to them, don't cheat on them, but let me cheat on you. So they want to be able to push out their narcissistic agenda, but at the same time they want to confuse you that they're not that bad of a person, right? So that's what that savior mentality is, to seem like I'm not that much bad of a person. And that's why when you expose the truth, they can never tell you the truth. They can never take accountability. All they do is project the bad things that you've said or done to them. They don't want to talk about the root of the problem. They want to talk about, they're going to focus either on something you said to piss them off, or they're going to completely avoid you and ignore you. Because the truth, they don't want to hear the truth, because the truth sets people free. And they don't want to set the people free that they're trying to kill and disguise it as love. So I hope that this message, you guys, and my experiences could help you. But it was something that I was deep in my mind this morning when I was thinking like what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Excuse my language, but I was just flabbergasted, because it's like, how dare you not tell? And then the wages of sin is death. You're lying to your mother. You're lying about who's passing away, who's sick, who's got this going. You're lying about everything, yet you're claiming you're trying to protect her. The wages of sin, you're sinning, you're lying, bitch, is death. So I'm sending you guys lots of love. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.